gang, how you doing? How's everyone this morning? I hope you're all fine. Welcome back to the Sunday morning Challenge Me More in 24 uh, 2,000 pounds of recycled goods going into my garden versus going into the landfill. And that's what this whole thing is all about. 52 weeks of trying to save everything I can from my house, from my garden. If neighbors donate it to me, well, then I go ahead and take it and I chop it up, do whatever, turn it back into compost and add it back to my soil versus them throwing it away in the bulk trash or even in the landscape trash, which we don't know where it really goes. So anyway, welcome aboard if this is your first time. I wanted to thank all the new people who have been watching my videos. I really, truly do appreciate it. Those who are watching the ads, you're the saints. And because I can tell you, you really, this is not a moneymaker. Anybody who's getting started in this and says, oh boy, you know, I'll be able to afford a house with my own channel. Good luck on that one. So anyway, as you can see, it's fall. I pulled out my little fall leaves. These are those decorations that are, you know, paper thin. They go into an envelope, but yet you can pull them out no matter whether you live in a big house, a small house, an apartment. And you can make the holidays seem a little bit more special. So anyway, what is this all about? And I wanted to tell you just a real quick list of what I do save, and that's my fruit and vegetable peels, the eggshells. I didn't pull all of that, it's out on the table today, but when I take my eggshells, sometimes I rinse them, but for the most part I figured that's probably protein. And so, well, it is protein, I'm sorry, not probably. And I let it dry out, and then once they dry out, I go ahead and pulverize them. Some people take them and they put them in their oven, or they put them in the microwave, and they feel that the heat would kill any salmonella bacteria, anything like that. I've been doing this for a long time, and I've really never had a problem. Maybe if I had a problem, I would do that, but for the most part, I just let them dry out. I take my coffee maker, my coffee bean grinder, and I go ahead and that's what I grind my eggshells with. I also do that for the shrimp shells whenever I've cooked shrimp, and I let those dry out. Those I bake. Those I do bake because it makes them crumbly enough that they come out like a powder. And then I give that to my worms. And then the worms turn it into castings, and the castings go into the soil. But if you don't have worms, you can put it straight into your soil. You can put, if you're making compost. So coffee grounds, tea bags, any of that sort of thing. Leaves. Oh, I wanted to show you that Ted Turkey over here is showing you some of the moringa trees that I chopped down. I chopped these down before well, after the first hurricane, Helene, I had started chopping, and then by the time we knew that we were going to get Milton, Rick and I went out and we took the rest of it down because that, you know, we knew that we were going to have a stronger storm. But anyway, this is we borrowed our neighbor's chipper shredder. Brian, the gentleman who brings me his grass clippings and some cardboard, and it only takes up to an inch. So boy, if I had a big chipper shredder, I would be through this now because, excuse me, I got some really big branches. And then over here, you can see these are my elm leaves. This is only 10 ounces of elm leaves and some little twigs that came from the tree. But I'm trying to get, I'm hoping to get 50 pounds, and I'm already up to like 30. But if you watch my video on um, my front yard tour, you'll see that the elm tree is now kind of see-through. You know, I mean, those little leaves are so, uh, there's so many of them that they're almost like a blanket over the tree. And when they start to drop, you start to see like little holes in the tree. And it's interesting because during the winter, we can see the birds. Because the tree it's deciduous, it goes completely bare. And so any of the little birds that come, we can see them up there. But in the spring, when the leaves start to come out and it looks like it's just a green film, and then the leaves start to emerge, and the leaves go from, you know, 1/8 of an inch to now 1 inch, and there's multiple, then the birds can hide in there, and that's their place. But you know, nature is so wonderful to watch. But anyway, so we have paper towels, toilet paper rolls. That's on the carbon side. Our papers, our cardboard. If you have canned vegetables, they come with a label on, and they come with a label on them. I guess some might not. Those labels are paper, and they will break down. Any of the things in your pantry, your cereal boxes, any of your boxes, if your cereal boxes come with a plastic bag, these are great for keeping things in your freezer that maybe you have 4 or 5 days until your trash man comes. Well, just put them in there. A little clothespin holds it shut. Paper clip holds it shut. You don't always have to get a chip clip. But there's no smell in my freezer from that, and I think it's great because then I can take it and I can put that in the trash bag the morning it's going out. It saves me having to have that odor, and it also saves my neighbors from having to smell that. Anything else in your pantry that's going bad? All these different things that we normally throw away. And if you think about it, they could go into your soil. And in your soil, they're going to break down. If you have an apartment and you have pots, you have potted plants, granted, you probably don't want something rotting in your potted plant, but they have so many new systems now. Whether you're keeping worms in a small container or whether you have something, there's some that look very attractive in the living room, and I'm thinking, wow, that's pretty nice. And so you could get the castings off of that. Once you freeze things, it's amazing how quickly they will break down. So these are all things to keep in mind. I won't go into all these little things today, but this is week 42. We're through week 42. We really only have 10 weeks left in the year, 70 days. I mean, you know, it's going pretty fast. And I did tell you, I had a ringer here, and that was that we borrowed, hang on just one second. Sorry, I have to take a little of my dose coffee. This is a mushroom coffee. It's absolutely excellent. I like to have a cup in the morning instead of starting off with Starbucks, because then I would really be circling the wagon. And the dose is a mushroom. They call it mushroom coffee because it is actually, there is a little coffee in it. Not a lot, but a little. Anyway, our ringer this week was the moringa leaves and the moringa branches. Now, just in moringa branches, I took them all. Rick helped me with some of the really big, you know, 18, 20 foot branches that were like this big, and I sawed them down, and I have a purpose for them. If I use them, I will count the weight. If I don't use them and they have to go out in landscape trash, or if they're thrown into the preserve, I won't. I won't count that. I know I could, but I won't, because I probably have 100 pounds at least of heavy branches, and I'm thinking about another hugelkultur. But anyway, I took those and I had everything filtered down, and I mean, it took me hours to do it, and then I would set up the chipper shredder, hand rick the earbuds, earplugs, and let him go ahead and do his thing. So, people always say, "Oh, your husband is so wonderful." Well, this took me 2 or 3 hours to do, and it took him 45 minutes. And it's like, okay. And, I'm chopping and sawing and doing it, and he's just standing there feeding it into the machine and emptying it. But we both have our purposes. Um, and yes, it was very good of him to do that. So we all get credit. But anyway, he was my ringer. He ended up getting 65 pounds of the moringa chips. And so that's all on Juicy Fruit Island that I spread underneath the cardboard, and I moved things around, and I got that all taken care of. Another one of my jobs. Rick just stands in the house and goes, "Yeah, looks good." And then I took all of the leaves and what have you. Some of it I dried and that we will consume. But the stuff that I didn't dry, or that I just chopped up, because it was lighter, and some of it I'll feed to the worms, and some of it I'll just put out in compost. I think I ended up getting, I can't see where I have that, but I know I probably got about 15 pounds. So we were really pumped this week, and we had all these extra things. I went through all of my old papers again. I really pulled out all the stops to try and make my 2,000, and I know I only have 10 weeks left. But this week was our best for the year. It wasn't our personal best. That was last year when Brian brought me 136 pounds of mulch. That was really nice because I didn't have to do anything for that. But anyway, this week was our personal year best. It was 116 pounds, 4.2 ounces. That just knocked my socks off. Because of the hurricanes, you have good and bad, right? The bad is we had a hurricane, we have a leak in the roof. They're telling us that we probably need a whole new roof. And every time we talk to somebody, the price keeps going up. We're now up to about $35,000 to have a new roof put on, because we have solar panels that have to be taken off and stored. The roof has to be redone. Then they have to be properly reinstalled. So my friends who are handymen, who say, "Oh, just go out and get some sealant, it'll only cost you $50 versus having all that done." The roof is going to need to be replaced. It's over 17 years old. They're guaranteed for 20-25 years. Here in Florida, if you want to sell your house, you pretty much have to have a new roof put on to get through an inspection, unless it's just a few years old. To get insurance in Florida, because of all of our hurricanes, once your house is 15 years old, they don't want to insure your roof. You can't get insurance for your house because they won't insure the roof. So there's all sorts of little catches. Anyway, that's the bad side, sorry. The good side is we got 70-80 pounds of moringa that I can add to my total, and that I can lay down for mulch. So the 116 pounds, 4.2, added to the 1,654, 1.3 ounces, has given us a grand total of 1,700 70 pounds, 5.5 ounces. And so we only need another 230 in the last 10 weeks. I hope we can do it. Brian didn't cut his grass this week, so hopefully next week he'll cut his grass and we can add his totals to it. But my my moringas are gone. Well, they're not gone, but I mean they are actually taken back to a point where, don't fight it. They are taken back to about this height, and they're just basically all knobs. You know, it's just the bark of the tree coming up, and they've just all been chopped off. You can see where they're all starting to come back, and I'm hoping to keep those just sprouts and bushy, and then keep pulling those off versus letting them branch out, because as tall as they were, you know, it was too tall for me to get on an 8-foot ladder and crawl up to the top and try to do that. So anyway, I think we did real well. I'm very pleased. Anything else? I can't think of anything else. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. I truly appreciate you coming back week after week. I really do. I'm doing this for you. If I weren't doing this, I probably wouldn't be recycling as much, because there's not that stimulus. And you know, I'm not Mother Teresa. You know, I'm doing it because I think it's a great thing to do, but also because I know that quite a few of you are following along, and the new people go, well, oh, I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know you could use pasta, and I mean, you can cook that and put it in your soil or feed it to your worms, but you don't have to. You can take that and just put it out as is. And I want to do a video on, can worms really eat Christmas trees? And if you look at those, they're little Christmas trees and little ornaments that our Boy Scouts sold us 10 years ago or 15 years ago, and we never used. Well, we used them once, and they were like rubber, so they've been in a bag in the back of the pantry. Yeah, I'll use them. Finally, I thought, yeah, I ought to feed those to the worms. Take care, everybody. I hope you guys have a great day. Remember, Halloween's coming up pretty soon, so get your little candy bars so that maybe you can sneak one or two. Anyway, Ted Turkey and I say, I hope you guys have a great day. Remember, garden what you've got. Bye-bye.